In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how my clients buy homes, sometimes sight unseen in the Winston-Salem area, and some top mistakes that you want to avoid at all costs. Let's get into the video. My name is Ramon Lomelli. I'm a local realtor here in the Winston-Salem area. I'm also the broker owner of the Smart Move Group, a real estate office here in downtown Winston-Salem. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because most of my clients, I would say a majority of my clients, come from out of states. A lot of Floridians, a lot of Californians, a lot of Southwest in general. The Northeast is coming down here a lot as well. And even Tennessee, I've been getting a couple, but I wanted to just talk about some of the mistakes that people are making and how to avoid them. Now, it seems that a lot of people are coming to this area because of job relocations, or they find that they can keep their, California wage, their New York wage, their Florida wage, and work remote. And then why stay in those more expensive states? So a lot of us are coming here for that. We're also getting a lot of retirees, people tired of their extreme weather wherever they're at. If they're in the Northeast, it's too cold up there for them. If they're in the South, further south than us, it's too humid or too hot for them. So North Carolina is kind of that middle ground where we don't have extremely hot summers or too cold of winters. It does snow, so you get to see it, but it's not too crazy. So those are some of the top reasons why people actually move here. Now, before I tell you the real highlight of this video, the steps to avoid, I want to tell you the steps to take, which is the steps that me and my buyers take to make sure that the transactions go off smooth. Now, not all of my buyers buy homes sight unseen. Some of them are able to actually make it out to most of them, I would say, actually are able to make it out to the area to explore, to see if they really like it, at least them, if not the spouse, or maybe they have family in the area, so they're already familiar with it. But unfortunately, I would say 10% maybe of my buyers year over year happen to be in the situation where they need a place and their job for whatever reason doesn't allow them to make it out here before they actually have to start working, and so they buy a home sight unseen. So step one to make sure that this goes off without a hitch is we usually start off with a virtual consultation, Zoom, Google Meets, whatever, FaceTime, or just on the phone. But I really want to get to know you, get to know what you're looking for, so I know what kind of areas, whether it's price range or schools, or maybe you're really into the arts and you want to be closer to downtown because of all the fun stuff going on, or maybe you like the rural life. So that will tell me kind of where in Winston-Salem or the greater Winston-Salem area to place you, or even in the triad, really. Step two, once we've identified your timeline and your budget and how you're going to finance or buy the house in cash, step two would be to actually do some virtual showings. Now, this I think is one of the biggest, best things that I have learned to do for my clients, especially when they are out-of-state clients and they don't have the luxury of coming here before they have to purchase, because I'm going to show you everything. Now, we can either do one of two things, or we can do both. We can either FaceTime or WhatsApp video or Facebook Messenger video, whatever media you want me to send. I can do that, but we can do a video chat at the property, show you the house. And then after that, I'll go back through the house and point out every single detail. There are things that no matter how good you are at doing video or how good the quality is, you're gonna miss things. And I really think that having a recording that you can watch over and over again is gonna be one of those special keys that you can watch it whenever you want. If you don't remember something about the house or where something was, you're gonna be able to go back and rewatch that. Now, when I'm doing these videos for you, I am going to be looking at every single thing. Not only am I driving around the neighborhood, I'm showing you how close a supermarket is, if there's any parks or schools nearby, anything at all like that. I'm not just showing you the inside, I'm walking around the outside. I'm not a home inspector, right? But I've been doing this for a long time, so I'll show you, hey, the roof looks good to me. Hey, the windows are newer, energy efficient, or they're the old wood blind windows. It's a brick house. I don't see any cracks. What kind of heat sources? Is it oil? Is it gas? Is it, electricity? The age of the HVAC. Anything that I'm seeing, both positive and negative, I'm telling you. Another thing is that you really can't get the sense of what a home smells like, which can tell a lot of things about the house. So that's another thing that I really try to focus on. Like, hey, it smells humid in here, even though it looks beautiful and it's on a great street and the house looks immaculate. I'm not gonna put you in a house that smells like mold or mildew or something like that, right? Or hey, there's a heavy pet odor in here. That's another one that can't be really translated through video. And the last thing I want is a bad reputation or for you to get here and be unhappy. So I just don't do that. So if I can, I go in the attic, I'll go in the basement, I'll go in the crawl space, show you as much as I know to look for, as if the home you're buying was mine and I'm your, uncle or your brother or your cousin, that's your family that's gonna be there to show the house to you. I basically try to be as honest and transparent as I can. Now, because we are used to, in this area specifically of North Carolina, we are used to getting a lot of out-of-state clients. A lot of the sellers, or sellers agents I should say, are accustomed to asking questions like, has the buyer seen the home? Especially if they know me, because they know that I bring a lot of out-of-staters to town. And that does bring up other challenges, like what kind of financing you're gonna get, because if they see it's gonna be a second home mortgage and they know it's gonna be an out-of-state buyer, usually, not always, right? But so there are some things to overcome in the contract. You may be asked a higher than normal deposit or due diligence fee if you are out of state and you haven't seen the home before. But like I said, if you do have family in the area, I'd be happy to take them, but I'm gonna do my best to show you the home in the best light and the worst light, to make sure that you are 100% aware of the condition of the home. Another major key in this virtual buying of a home, or buying a home sight unseen, is gonna be the home inspections. Now, I work with several home inspectors in the area, and I only work with home inspectors that have integrity and are gonna do a job that's good by you. And not only home inspector, especially whenever you haven't seen the home in person, we're sending the termite guy, we're sending the radon inspection, we're sending every single system or source of the home is going to be inspected, especially if the home inspector calls out something, like, hey, I'm not a roofer, but this roof, there's something wrong with this roof, right? So then we're going to get a roofer out there. Trusting the process is going to rely heavily on having good inspections. And listen, these home inspections might be a little scary. They're going to be 40, 50, 60, 70 pages long, but that's good. We want to know everything that's wrong with the house. I don't want you to buy something and then later regret it, right? So usually the home inspection process, the inspection process in general, is a really good thing for my buyers, because we might lose a deposit if we back out, depending on the situation. We may not, but at least I'm not putting you into a house that's not worth it. Typically, after all the physical inspections, there's also an appraisal that's done that's going to tell us if the home is worth what we're paying for it, in the opinion of an appraiser, or in the eyes of a bank, right? So that's another thing that's going to help you feel at ease during the purchase of this property. Next, we're going to talk about the top mistakes to avoid. Before we jump into that, though, I do want to jump in here real quick just to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if there's anything at all that you need from me, do not hesitate to reach out. The number on the screen, that's my personal number, goes to no one else but me. I'm going to leave you some awesome links in the about section of this video, including a relocation guide. You also have a list of homes that are currently for sale, and all my social media handles, because everyone needs another friend on social media. But more importantly, I do a lot of videos about the food in the area, things to do, things going on, so you can see kind of what a day in the life of someone that lives here day to day looks like by stalking me on social media. So make sure you check out those links, and let's get back into the video. The number one mistake to avoid when buying a home from another state, especially sight unseen, is going to be trusting the listing photos. You know as well as I know that they're going to try to do their best that they can to make sure that the home looks in the best possible light, because the listing agent's job is to sell the house, right? So they're going to show you all the great, none of the bad. There might even be a little Photoshop, which is definitely a gray area. So definitely do not trust the listing photos on MLS. Another top mistake to avoid that's really hard to convey unless you're here physically is choosing the right area of Winston-Salem for your lifestyle. Like I mentioned previously, if you like the rural life and you end up and the house looks perfect, and even though in that little section it looks like it's rural, but 2 minutes outside that neighborhood is a buzzing metropolis, that's not something that you're going to be very happy with. So you want to make sure you are aware of the area, and that's something that's hard to convey in video, like I mentioned. And that's why you need someone like me that's going to be honest with you about, like, hey, this is rural, or no, this might look a little rural because everything is green around here. So everything looks rural until you cross the street, and then it looks completely different. Another thing that might set you back is not understanding North Carolina's due diligence fee. Now, North Carolina is one of very few states that actually has what's known as a due diligence fee, and it's money that the buyer puts that is non-refundable, which I know sounds very scary. I usually have this conversation about the due diligence fee during our initial virtual consultation, just to make sure that you understand, because it's different from other states. Basically, the due diligence fee is money that you give up front only if you go under contract that is non-refundable. If you back out, you lose that money. That's the negative side. The good side is, now that I scared you away, is that a lot of times the seller intends to sell the house, the buyer wants to buy the house. If something is majorly wrong with the house in North Carolina, they would have to, if we make them aware of it, now they have to disclose that to the next buyer, right? So if you put yourself in the mind of a seller and you say, okay, I can keep this buyer's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 due diligence fee, whatever it may be, but now I have to tell the next buyer that the roof is shot, the foundation is shot, the AC doesn't work, whatever the case may be, whatever the big ticket item might be that's wrong with the house, I might as well fix it for this guy, because the other guy's gonna want me to either drop the price or fix it anyway, and then I'm just wasting time at that point, right? So in most cases, speaking personally from experience, 99.9% of the time it works out. And the reason I wanted to put that on the list of top mistakes to avoid is because if you are hesitant to put a due diligence fee in North Carolina, people are just not gonna take you seriously. It is just a part of the culture and part of the way we do business here. So I don't want you to miss out on the perfect house because you wanna put a really low due diligence fee or not put a due diligence fee at all. Now, the other good side about the due diligence fee is that you do get a credit of that money at closing. So it's not like this money is just going in the pockets in the seller's pocket, sorry. It's not just going in the seller's pocket and then you never see it again. You do give it directly to the seller. However, at closing, there'll be a line credit for that, and we'll make sure of that. Another top mistake to avoid in this scenario is gonna be misjudging the closing timelines. Now, different states do things differently. I can tell you that in North Carolina, once you find the house, which is a time frame that we don't really know, it could be quick, it could take a while, the time frame to close a property in most cases is 30 to 45 days, maybe 60 days. Usually, not always, usually though, the seller wants to close as soon as possible, but you, back in your home state, may have some things to finish up. You may have to sell your house, you may have to close up some business, do some family stuff, whatever the case may be. So we gotta make sure that we know our timelines, because if we come here and look and your home is not gonna be ready until 6 months from now, or you're not gonna be ready to move rather until 6 months from now, what's available today is not gonna be available then. Now, the only exception to this rule is new construction, which actually a lot of my home buyers end up going that route anyway, because it is so easy to come, look at a new construction home, pick out the land, the lot that you want the house in, know which floor plan you're gonna get, so you're gonna know where your house is gonna be, what it's gonna look like, that it's brand new, and you're gonna know the date that it's gonna be done, so you can go back and plan your entire life around that date, and it makes things super easy. Not to mention that right now they're going crazy. They're trying to sell these things so fast. They're doing like 4.99% interest rate. They're doing closing costs, they're doing blinds and appliances, they're throwing washer and dryers at you. Basically right now is a great time to buy new construction homes. Another thing to avoid is gonna be skipping the final walkthrough video. Now, a lot of times it ends up that my buyers never see the home until the day of closing. And right before we go to the attorney's office, if at all possible, I try to make sure that you get your eyes on that house, at least for the first time in some cases, before you go and sign, because it can be scary, right? I want you to have that confidence. So if at all possible, let's go to the property before closing to make sure, hey, I still like it. Hey, it's still here. Hey, they said they were gonna leave the appliances are still here. Hey, the AC didn't stop working overnight. There's not a random hole in the roof. Like because once you sign, it's yours, good or bad, it's yours. So that's why you wanna make sure that everything is in the house. And obviously if you're out of state and you can't be here for that, because we can actually do a remote closing. So you don't actually have to be here for closing. But in the scenarios where you can't be here for closing, I'll go and do a video walkthrough for the final walkthrough. Now this next section might sound like I'm tooting my own horn, and I might be a little bit, but I honestly believe that there is no better real estate agent out there to deal with out-of-state buyers, and especially the sub-genre of out-of-state buyers who have not seen a home for themselves in person, because I have the experience. It's just the sheer numbers. Vast majority of what I sell every year, and every year I'm selling 45 to 55 homes depending on the year. Most of my buyers are out of state, and a fraction of those, maybe 10% of those, are actually buying sight unseen, which is scary. And I understand and realize and hope that you don't have to go through that. But if you do, I'm literally the best equipped agent probably in North Carolina to handle that. So if you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to reach out. That's literally why I make these videos for you. Again, the number on the screen, that's my personal cell phone number. It goes to no one else but me. It's not an answering service. It's not some receptionist. It's coming to me, and then I will do my best to work with you personally. Again, thank you so much for watching. Go check out another video on the channel. Do not watch my competitors' videos. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they do okay. But thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll catch you in next week's video.